So we apologize about that. Slight technical issues at our end. They seem to have plagued us a bit today, unfortunately.
It's come from the Oval right until here. We have been plagued with technical issues. And that technical issues has resulted in chaos. So we apologize for that. But this stream is a different stream for what we are doing, because we are looking ahead to what should India's ideal plan of action should be on day 4. Because you are potentially going to look at either the third highest or the second highest chase in England cricket history.
Being optimistic.
Yes. But you are already going to chase the highest total ever in the history of the Oval. That was 263. And when did that happen? 1902.
Wow.
121 years ago.
Wow.
And they won it by 8 wickets. Australia won it. So, here, when you look at England's history in the 4th innings chases, 404, Australia did it again in 1948. 362, the Ben Stokes miracle against Australia in the Ashes, both when you were Leeds. 378 in 2022, achieved in Edgbaston. But remember, the Edgbaston wicket was flat, stayed consistent throughout. Here, every single day at the Oval, the conditions are changing. Okay, let's look at it. Day 1, 3 wickets. Day 2, 12 wickets. Today, 9 wickets. So there is actually no trend to establish whether the bowling has become weak, whether it's getting better for batting, whether it's getting difficult for the batters. We just don't know what to establish from this Oval deck.
I think it can be explained. Day 1, India was bowling. We were seemingly not having any assistance from the pitch, but that was completely proven wrong when Australia came onto the field and started bowling, and that's why we saw 12 wickets happening. And you know what, the day 2 of this test match was completely different from what today was and what day 1 was, and that's purely because of Australia and how they are bowling, their consistent line and lengths and their accuracy and aggression with their bowling. We're not seeing that from the Indian bowlers.
Absolutely. So it's a big problem that India are facing. Let us be very honest about it. Okay, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything that India can do it. Like the fans, I love the fans' optimism there in Oval.
It's really optimistic.
But I rather like that fan's comment. We will chase 400, but in 2 innings. I kind of liked his realism about it. But it is, where did you lose it? First day, and that too, 3rd session.
And also it was down
nil for 157.
Also, your bowling as much as anything else. Because again, we were talking about the comparisons of the bowling attacks, and we did agree that the Australian bowling attack just looks far more rounded, complete, plays to their strengths, and they were able to generate a lot more bounce from that pitch. So it shows that the bounce is there if you work hard for it, but it is not going to be an easy pitch now because it's going to get more and more uneven. And that's the key. Uneven bounce, that's when as a pacer you're really going to have to bend your back. Can they now actually, let's say, get that kind of bounce? That's the key part. That's really what needs to be done. Also, you're going to have to look out for how the pitch plays, because again, we were talking about the pitch and there being, you're seeing puffs or more than a few puffs of dust. If that comes into play, then Jadeja becomes very key.
Yes. But I'll pick up on this one point from GGK. Pitch has evened out. India win if target around 400. Either GGK is watching a different match. He's thinking 2021 Oval, or this pitch is in a parallel universe or something.
This is not an even pitch. Not at all.
Not at all. There are a lot of uneven cracks around the Oval pitch, GGK. I understand, I share your optimism. I am very hopeful that history can be created. But remember, a target of 400 has been chased down only once in England. There is a reason. Different conditions, Duke's ball, everything. Unless you go behind and say it was sarcasm.
I doubt. It doesn't look like sarcasm, because I do think he was also saying that, India's batting See, of course, if India does in fact put in a good batting performance, but they need to bat out of their skins. And truth be told, if you're chasing 400, even in fact, if you have 5 sessions, it's not going to be easy on a pitch that has that many cracks and with that kind of uneven bounce.
Yes.
Then it doesn't even matter if Lion is the only spinner they have, because again, if their pacers hit the right lengths, then you could actually fall victim to low bounce, because the bounce here is not very even.
I mean, look at Labuschagne. On that same delivery which was pitched up by Mohammad Siraj on a good length, one shot up. The other one, you remember how he had to crouch down low. Oh, he was almost down again. So you're going to see more such bowling. If you may say, the ball is going to keep that uneven throughout the entire 4th and the 5th days now. And remember, you have no cloud cover also to assist you. It's going to be bright and sunny, and it's going to get hotter. Conditions where Australia thrive on, because it's kind of like their home conditions.
And in order to chase down a target like 400, mathematically speaking, and I'm trying to do a little math here, you're going to at least need 2 batters to hit a century or something.
Or one batter getting a double century.
Which is,
Or 150.
That's the odds are
Against
that. So let's say 2 batters hit a century each, and then about like, that's still just 200 runs.
But still, when Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow hit a century each, that was the only time they chased down 378.
Yeah.
Now, who do you see
400
from...
plus.
Yeah. Who do you see in this current team? And this is where, when you look at this edition of the World Test Championship cycle, look at who have gotten hundreds. Rohit Sharma at the Oval can do it, because he does seem to manage the situation well. Virat hit 100, but at home. Shubman, and if you have to say the likes of Rahane. Rahane hasn't had 100. Pujara hasn't scored 100 outside of Asia. He did score in Bangladesh. Kohli in India. Your other batter who got 100 overseas, outside of Asia, he's not there. That's KL Rahul. He hit a century in Centurion.
Yeah.
The only guy to hit a century, by the way.
Also, and this is where again hindsight really comes into play. But if India are going to be batting 4th on a pitch that's turning into a little bit of a dust bowl, uneven bounce, where spinners come into play, Shreyas Iyer, your best player of spin.
Yes.
You're suddenly missing him a lot more.
But with that uneven bounce,
I mean, he's spent his entire domestic career playing in Mumbai. I think he'd have been just fine.
against Australia,
I'm not.
bouncers,
No. See, again, that pitch, uneven bounce, that'll be one thing you'd have to watch out for. You at least won't be worried about being spun out. One big worry I have with the Indian batting lineup now is that seemingly no one can play spin consistently. We know Rohit can do it if he's set, but as we saw even in the BGT, he has that tendency of throwing his wicket away to spin. I think it was Indore, where I think Kuhneman got him, was it? I think it was Kuhneman, because I remember a left arm spinner and it spun
he
like
tried
8
to
degrees.
go down the
Charged him.
track. Yeah,
Charged him
Kuhneman.
and he was stumped by a country mile. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why did you think of doing that when you know it's turning that much? Okay, I understand his logic. His logic was that you knew, you had to take a risk. But, I mean, if it's spinning that much on day one, that was a day one track. Indore was the worst of the lot in that series by some distance.
Yeah.
He was spinning 8 degrees and I'm like, he charged out? Why? So again, he has that tendency of losing his head. Gill, again, good player of spin when set, but
He's not been tested much in the Sena countries.
Yeah, and the other thing is that his best performances have come in places where it's again pace friendly.
Which is Australia.
Exactly.
And remember, everybody is talking about the Gaba wicket. Oh, can you do a repeat of the Gaba? But the Gaba wasn't like this.
Gaba was a pretty true wicket on day 5.
Yes.
Yes.
You look at India's chases. Say, for example, Adelaide 2014. How could batsmen prosper there? Because the pitch was as true as it can be.
In fact, if you think about all the major chases also, we're talking about the Ben Stokes miracle and all, that pitch was pretty true. Leeds, it was Leeds, was it?
It was Leeds,
yeah.
Leeds. But remember, England will disagree with you on that because they got dismissed for 67.
Yeah, but then that was also at a time when I think England's batting had a tendency to self-destruct.
Oh yeah, it was in that.
It needed good
phase.
bowling.
Yeah, of course, and they had great bowling there at that point. It's the same Aussie lineup pretty much. Remove Boland and you had Hazelwood. But otherwise, if you remember some of the shots that Stokes played in that second innings, it was part his own bravery, but he was playing cross-pat shots at times. Cross-pat shots on a day 5 wicket, it has to be true.
Yeah.
And he was playing reverse sweeps to Nathan Lyon. That is both gutsy, sure, but he also knew that the pitch would help him do that, which is why he was going for that shot. He was hitting a bowler like Hazelwood over his head. Again, true bounce. You're not getting that type of a wicket here.
And again, see, there was two things. One from Madhav Garg, who said that the pitch could ease out. I hope it eases out, but again, all those trends in the oval,
Generally
it does
speaking,
not
it does
count.
ease out. Yeah.
It does not count now because all those trends are August, September. Different oval, different conditions. Here, very different conditions in June. And see, there has been no trend. And Rookie Techie wants to clutch on straws, saying that, oh, India scored 438 for 7 in 1970, fourth innings, and drew versus England. Gavaskar was man of the match. But yet again, that
kind of
oval
conditions?
wicket was different. 79 can't be used as this thing for 2023.
Exactly.
I understand the optimism. Fine, okay. Let us hope that 438 happens. But there is a reason why chases have not happened over 400 in England that often. By that logic, only one has been achieved, 404. And that too comprehensive 7-wicket win. But that was in 1948. Can I use that same logic here now? No, I can't.
And you can't use any past example or analogy because again, as we've pointed out constantly from day one, you've never played Test cricket at the Oval this time of year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So any trends are thrown out of the window. I remember last year also we had such difficulty calling matches of the T20 World Cup in Australia. Why? Because you didn't know what kind of conditions you were going to get. You don't really play cricket at that time of the year unless it's maybe BBL, but even BBL starts in like November.
Yeah.
So you don't play conditions at that point. You know, one day you'd be having pitches where it's swinging around like crazy. Other days you're getting grip and purchase. You're like, what is happening? Because it's not the seasonal time. Same here. So I don't think, I get your point, Rookie Taki, but yeah, you can't really make that comparison.
Can't make that comparison. And I don't know how many sessions did India bat? Whether was it 5 sessions or 6 sessions? I don't think they batted for a full 2 days. I don't think so. I think they batted probably for 5.5 sessions, if I'm not mistaken. If memory serves me right, I don't know. Maybe it was 5.5 sessions.
We'll have to check that.
We'll check that out. But yeah, I mean, it can happen.
It's not, nothing is impossible. It'll just be really tough.
It'll be really, really tough. That's what people want to know. And Shubham is like giving us a super chat saying that out of Rishabh, Bumrah, Shreyas, the worst scenario is of Shreyas as Rahane has scored now.
True.
Such is his life. He had crucial knocks in this WTC.
No, disagree.
But Gargi said no. On what?
He's saying that Shreyas Iyer is now in danger because Rahane has performed, right?
Yeah.
It does matter. It does affect his place.
Please carry on this here.
You go first, then
I think it does. I don't know how long Rahane is going to play cricket, but then since he's performed, we know by now that the Indian management does give a lot of weightage to IPL performances. We saw what Rahane did in those couple of matches, 2-3 matches, right?
Yep.
And now he's come out and Ajinkya Rahane has been your lone warrior in the WTC. These are moments that cannot be forgotten. These are, matches, like you said in the previous life as well, that the performances that Ajinkya Rahane had in the IPL had a lot of impact. That is what's very important, and Shreyas Iyer is doing also very well. Okay, let's be fair. He's also doing very well.
When Shreyas Iyer got injured in the previous IPL, the scenario was 2021, right?
Yeah.
2021, someone else stepped up and he had to wait. His ODI and white ball form, he was not a certainty anymore. Now yet another injury at a very bad time.
And Rahane is someone who's been here for so long that you can't overlook him and you can't drop him that easily now.
If you want a transition period, and many people are saying now, oh, we don't want Rohit as the captain. He's your captaincy material.
No, I think if you go to Rahane as captain now, then it sends a message that you just don't have any kind of a succession plan. Also, why I'm saying not so much in danger is because one of the reasons that Shreyas was picked was because he offered you something that Rahane did not. Someone who could counter-attack against spin. Rahane's biggest Achilles heel was always his playing of spin. Shreyas, it was exactly the opposite. You knew he might struggle against pacers, but that's why you were batting him at 5.
Yep.
Because you needed someone who could be aggressive against spin, use their feet well. That was something he did. The other reason why I'm not too worried is because, again, I don't see Rahane as a long-term option. 35 years old. He's got maybe at best a year or two left. With Shreyas also, unfortunately, you're right, that when he had that injury in 2021. But I think there's other players also who've had similar problems. Because I think if you ask me, Shreyas Iyer should be one of your certified starters in even ODI cricket. T20s, I can understand Sky has made his own. But in ODI, the sky has not been the limit, really.
It's not been the limit.
And at 4, you needed someone like Shreyas. Last year, I remember he was very consistent in ODIs. You know who else was very consistent in ODIs? Sanju Samson.
Yeah.
He was averaging 70 odd batting at number 5. But then team management had to fit KL Rahul in. And Sanju Samson got injured at the worst possible time in the beginning of January when Jitesh had got that call up.
Yes.
Didn't play a match, but they called him up as backup. Sanju got injured at the worst time because if he had to be batting, I think he would have been a solidified option at least in the ODIs by now. But ODIs for another time, I think Shreyas is okay. But he's right that actually the one who's had the worst luck of these 3 injured players is Iyer because his replacement actually came in and performed.
Yeah.
With Bumrah, you know if he's comes back and we don't know if he'll even play Test cricket because that stress fracture can really take a toll. We've seen it even with Archer, how long it took him to get back into flow and then back again he's injured. So I don't know if Bumrah comes back to Test cricket, but assuming he does, he slots in straight for Umesh. Easy peasy.
Easy, yes.
And KS Bharat has done legitimately nothing to convince me that he's anything more than a backup. So Pant also slots in easy whenever he's back.
Yep.
Shreyas is the only one who has that unlucky factor.
Bumrah and Pant both are irreplaceable in the Indian squad.
More stats been thrown like, okay, in 2018, 345, India made 345 in the 4th innings.
But
Again, it was August, September, and who are you missing in this particular team at that time? You have answered your own question, Rookie Techie, a certain Rishabh Pant. Who will take the attack? No one.
If you're chasing 400, even 350, 360, 370, you'll need someone to play the way Travis Head played in the first innings, which is easier said than done on a pitch that is definitely getting tired.
Look, day 1 was the best batting strip of all.
Yeah.
Because, and remember, if you look at it, what was the oval when you looked at it in September? In that 2018 test match, 2 days it was overcast. So the pitch didn't break up that much.
Yeah.
Here you are potentially going to have 4 days in absolute bright sunshine.
Yeah.
The pitch will break up.
Yeah.
And here run scoring will become difficult. And see, Smith tried to be aggressive, but he's not able to. You have to grind it down.
Yeah.
So at max, you can simply say that, okay, India might want to hang in there. If it's 400 with only 1.5 sessions of day 4 and 3 more in day 5, 4.5 sessions, you want to conserve
You want to play
yourself.
the draw then?
Yeah.
You have
to do the negative thing and play for the draw?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's another
chat.
super chat and
we check
Dex.
We haven't.
Dex is asking me another question. Satish Bey, a lead of 296 on a deteriorating pitch is already a big one. And Australia clearly are the favourites to win this. Pragmatically, yes, we would want to acknowledge that. They are. 296 for 4. They're not 296, 123 for 4. They're 296 for 4.
That's the key. I think pragmatically, if you're looking at it, Australia, as even Nicola pointed out earlier, he said, no, they're in the driver's seat.
They are.
They are.
I don't think ever in this match the tides turned. Yes, India did well when
they
and
got,
Thakur stepped up, but we all knew it wasn't enough for it to be a complete turnaround.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, see, the moment we will know what is the situation if Australia get bowled out for under 350.
Yeah.
The lead, that is.
The lead, yeah.
Apart from that, getting a India win, I will say it is according to the predictor that the host broadcasters are going on, which is, I think, been pretty accurate. I will say it's about a 11% chance. The draw is, you may say, 18%. And an Australia win is 71%.
Yeah, because at this point, if you have to win India's performances, they'll need at least 2 or maybe even 4 individuals, 2 bowlers and 2 batsmen to step up massively. You need 2 bowlers to step up to ensure that you can bundle the Aussies out cheaply, maybe under 350 or 350 exact. Then from 350 exact, you still need 1 big 100 at the very least, and 170, 80, if not 200s. This is why I say you need 4 performers to like really play out of their skin, which is why,
Yeah.
as we said, pragmatically, it's hard. It's not
Yeah.
impossible, but it's much harder.
Okay, what is Dex's question? I
Let's
mean,
take
again,
a few more questions.
yeah,
Yeah, he's saying to take his question, but I can't see his
where is
question.
his question?
Like, send the question.
He's not even, I don't know, where is your question, Dex? Are you,
वहाँ click कर दो, हाँ.
Ah.
yeah, take, what is the question? I can't again
We'll
ping
look
it
at the
then.
other comments till then.
Yeah. So I don't know what is your question. I can't see it. It is playing. Dex.
Very naughty Dex.
Very naughty guy at 11:25 in the night. Oof. So, what is the plan of action that India have today? As I said, 9 wickets on day 3, 12 on day 2. Pitch beating down. I mean, the sun is beating down at the pitch, and tomorrow it's going to be hotter. Day 5, they are saying that there might be rain, but I don't think there is rain now. I think you do not have to focus on the rain anymore. India, the best case scenario for them, take the remaining 6 wickets and do not concede about 100 runs. That is the best case scenario. Otherwise, if Australia score in excess of 100, 120 runs for the remaining 6 wickets and they then play about 2 sessions or 1.5 sessions, then I think India are in trouble. Big trouble. Any total, any lead in excess of 370 or in the range of 450, 370 to 450, whatever might be that sample size, if you get a lead there, I think it's game over.
Yeah.
So,
And I think if they get to, sorry to cut you there, but I think if they get anything to above 400 and they still have couple of wickets or maybe a green or a carry still at the crease, then I think you'll just see them go hell for leather. Go for it, anything above 400 is a bonus. Then that's where it gets really difficult, because we know India do sometimes struggle with cleaning out a tail.
yeah.
Now we can take Shubham's super chat.
Yep.
Okay, so Shubham's saying, one thing I must say, Cummins is very agile. He's like an apex predator, always at the face, and though he had no ball fiasco, he still executed his plan. I mean, yes, when you look at the larger picture, Australia has always been in fitness aspect way ahead than the rest of the lot.
And in fact, with Cummins, him personally also, he had that major problem after his debut test, remember? Where he was out injured for how many years?
6
was
years.
It? Yeah, 6 years. And people thought that was a case of one of
Done.
Australia's best fast bowlers, just unfortunately, like, a story of what if.
Yeah.
But he actually came back thereafter to work really hard on ensuring that his back wouldn't give way. And to his credit, he's actually done really well in that regard.
I mean,
He's
and
played
yeah,
49
it's-
consecutive tests since then. Hardly missed, apart from the 2 that he missed against India because of a tragedy.
Well, that was
Doesn't
tragedy.
count. Doesn't
Wasn't
count.
fitness.
But not fitness. I mean, he's been supremely fit.
Yeah, and the thing with him is that he's again someone who's used as an all-format bowler.
Yep.
He will skip white balls on occasion, similar to say what Stark does. But generally speaking, he's playing all formats, and his fitness is supreme. Also, by the way, he's someone who more often than not bowls hard lengths, so he's gonna have to kind of put that extra effort, whether it be from back, shoulder, wherever, and clean action.
And this kind of pitch, Australian bowlers feast on because those strong shoulders.
Yeah.
Boland, Green, Cummins, Stark in a way. To an extent. He relies a bit more on swing also.
But Cummins,
Cummins.
like a traceable. You could see when Cummins was bowling at the end, start of the day, and when Boland came on to bowl from the other end, there was a big difference between the two, pacers. You could see that the ball was much quicker when it was Cummins bowling, and that's a very, amazing thing, because Cummins is much older than Boland, and still he produces that pace.
That's the thing. That's what is the thing with him, is that when he hits that deck, it's going zoom.
Yep.
I know so many times why was Shardul and even Rahane ended up getting a broken finger because of Cummins.
Yeah.
Shardul got hit on the arm so bad he is using 2 elbow
guards.
grips.
Yes.
So it was really the amount of zip that he was producing once he hit that deck. Frightening.
Crazy.
Like zoom. And it's like you're seeing these guys go for the shot and they're nowhere near it.
That's why. Chasing a total in excess of 350 on a very up and down wicket.
Not going to be easy.
Not going to be easy at all.
So I think the plan of action for India, at least at the start of the day, will be to try and get a couple of early wickets. You need to get to the bottom of that,
Session.
Huh?
Crucial session.
Oh yeah, for sure. Every single time, it just works. Can you imagine?
I knew that she will point out and laugh because I'll tell you why. Look at when the wickets fell.
Yeah.
Two
always in the
wickets.
beginning.
2 wickets of the first innings fell in the first hour.
That is truly the crucial.
Labuschagne in the first innings fell in the first hour.
Yeah, right.
After that, Head and Smith batted like a dream. And the collapse that happened on second day when it happened on the first hour.
So again,
You
it's
know why
always
I'm
the first time.
laughing when I say it's going to be a crucial session for India, because every time a new session is starting, it's golden for Australia and India end up just messing
actually.
it up.
But if you, that's actually not true.
How is it not true?
Day 1, 2 and 3, if you look at who has dominated the session, it's been India. Each of the days, only day 1 first session, only the first session. Today, Rahane, Shardul, didn't they dominate?
Right.
Actually, yeah, aside from day 1's first session, day 2 and 3, India have always started well. Then towards the end, you're like again, oh, you're looking forward to the next day. In fact, we used to
No,
joke.
even day 2 they started well.
Yeah.
Day one you got Khwaja and Warner.
But then you knew that you had
Today
Smith
you
and
lost KS Bharat.
yeah, but then after that, Rahane and Shardul, no?
That's
109 run
by that
partnership.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, you're right. First session, India always started to do well, and then thereafter it kind of peters off. We'd hope that's
And
not the trend.
what changed? The second session, first hour of day 3, second session, what happened? Rahane was looking good for 100. Green took a spectacular catch.
Yeah.
That one game-changing moment.
15 years of covering in this field and watching hundreds of test matches, that one cliche never changes.
Which is
Never. First hour of each session.
Yeah, it's philosophy.
It's not a philosophy, it's written in
set in
stone.
stone. That's
It's set in
always-
clay rather.
Yeah.
That anytime, look at this match, you'll point out to that Rahane catch first hour of the second session, day 3. Game changer.
Today also, if you remember when the innings started, when Australia's innings started, 24 for 2, you're thinking early times, golden. That's your time to strike. But
And again, to add to that, third session, first
First
hour,
hour.
who went out? David Warner.
Yep.
No, Usman Khwaja, sorry.
Khwaja.
Khwaja.
Yeah.
So, that never changes. So, tomorrow at 2:30, we'll be back for day 4.
Yes.
And sorry fans to throw cold water, but there is no rain. No rain predicted on day 4.
We have one more super. Let's take
And
that
let's
before we
end that.
end.
Yeah.
Can we take it?
One more super chat. Let's see. Sivram is like seeing people say India will win. If we target 350, you need Rishabh Pant. Absolutely. You don't have a similar player, even if target is 300. We don't play basketball.
Correct, Shivaram. That's what we were pointing out.
Absolutely.
Is
Nailed
that
it.
you're one player who can counter attack.
He's not here.
Yeah. In fact, that Gabba people keep talking about, but there were 2 players there. One was, of course, Pant, and Gill set it up nicely with his 80. So you needed, as I said, 2 good knocks.
Yes.
And Pujara too.
Yeah.
He weathered the blow, 52 or 191. But
Typical Pujara.
he threatened to be anti-fastball.
Yeah.
And
No, but he's laying the foundation, right? So you
Yeah,
can
yeah, of course.
play basketball from the other end.
yep, this pitch kind of reminds me of Centurion 2018. It was like India were chasing 280, but got all out for 150 because the pitch was so up and down.
That you couldn't really exactly.
That's
And
the
that's
thing.
the key. And I do agree with Shivaram. Though it's a very good point. Is that the big worry is that's why you need to get them out ASAP because you don't really have a counter-attacking aggressive player.
Yeah.
Yes, and remember, only if you have 4 sessions, you can't afford to counter-attack that much because you
Exactly.
don't know on this kind of wicket. All the Australian decks are truer. They don't crumble that much, but in England they do.
Yeah, the only pitch really in Australia where more often than not you'll see it kind of break down a little bit is always Sydney. But then that's pretty much how it's always been. We know that.
But even Sydney is a road.
Yeah, Sydney also can at times really be a road. So it doesn't really break down. So that's it from us. I think we've outlined India's plans.
Yes.
Join us tomorrow for crucial first session and beyond. And
Of course, crucial day 4 because today was a moving day. I think
yeah.
But
it
it's
is
moved in favor of Australia.
Australia a bit. I want to echo the Indian positivity. It a bit towards Australia.
Yeah.
So tomorrow Australia will be targeting a lead of 400 plus, at least a bare minimum.
Yeah.
You're getting to 350, which looks 99% certain, although stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
And then India have the ominous task of surviving maybe 4.5 sessions of this World Test Championship final, or maybe 4 sessions. That's about it. So we'll be back tomorrow at 2:30 to see how things pan out. From me, Gargi and Shane, and from Nikhil at the Oval, it's good night. Bye bye. See you.